No
All
worries,
right,
no worries,
ladies and
man.
gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Division Three French Grand Prix here in the Zoom Racing League. Very excited to see some excellent qualifying and some great racing from these drivers today. And here in the booth, I am joined by the one and only Sid Setger. Sid, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Peter. How about you?
I'm doing fine myself. So, I mean, we got a couple guys going for this pole position today. I know qualifying's just started. We haven't seen any banker laps yet, but you have a list of a couple guys that you think might be challenging.
Yeah, I think Seb is going to be a real contender for sure. Been in some practice sessions with him, and he has shown some real pace.
Yeah, Seb's been absolutely rapid the past couple weeks, so he's always gonna be one of the favorites for that pole position spot. Um, yeah, I think it'll probably be some of the God, what's the word I'm looking for? The favorites, just the usual favorites for pole position today.
Yes, like Seb, Nathan Doan, and probably Ranger from Red Bull.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we have Logan starting his lap now. He's the first one to start his lap. Oh, but he has already invalidated it before starting the lap, so
See who
I
the
guess he's gonna
next
do the lap anyway.
the next driver starting his lap, which will be a valid one, is Nathan Doan. Nathan just clipping that little, I don't even know what it's called, bollard of
Yeah.
the apex of turn one.
Looks like a clean lap so far.
Yeah, definitely doesn't look like he's taking too many chances. Just want to get a lap on the board first.
Oh, at his teammate regrets almost spins out in sector one.
Yeah, Nathan Doan really taking this lap just in a textbook way. I mean, not a single correction of the steering wheel or really a slide from the rear end.
Yeah, it does look like a solid banker lap. We'll see what time he does. Might even get a little tow
Yeah,
from the Mercedes.
looks like he's a little bit far back to gain anything substantial, but that will help a little bit as he sets the time to chase at a 130.8.
And yeah, that is a really solid.
Definitely a competitive time. I believe next
I
across the
think
line is going to be his teammate Rigraff. Let's see what he'll be able to set. As Rigraff
um
dives into the pits, so seems like that incident was enough. And then Pilon next across the line in the Aston Martin.
is the session up for you?
It's a 32.2. It's a bit off the pace from Pilon.
I got kicked from the lobby.
Oh, that's not good. We don't want that. Alright, I'll do my best to commentate on my own until you come back. Leo
Yeah.
Curtis, one of our two Xbox players. It's a 131.3, moves up into second place. A Dow, another reserve with a 132.8. I believe next will be the Mercedes of Seb, one of our favorites for pole today. Let's see if he'll be able to challenge Nathan Doan as he comes across the line and gets within about a tenth and a half of his time with a 130.98. Next cross is What a Yoke. It's a 131.3. Let's try to get on board with someone throughout their lap so we can have a good view of what's going on in the session. Currently riding on board with Simon Colston in the Mercedes. Not the Mercedes, the McLaren. No wheel spin on the exit. Always whenever that can happen.
Okay, I'm back.
Alright, welcome back, Sid.
But I do not have game audio in it. That's fine.
Ah, jeez.
Okay, yeah, it's back.
Sorts of things happening. The two Red Bulls. Oh, Simon Carlson has a big snap. Duncan 45 with a 130.94. And Ranger with a 131.05. So only 2/10 separating the top four. Marino and the Williams goes 131.2. Good time from him. Let's see what Simon Carlson is able to put in. 131.8. So that's including his mistake, which I'd reckon
Yeah.
costs about half a second. So if he can get in these next two laps and complete them without any mistakes, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think Simon can do well. He's a good, consistent driver, so he should be better in the race than in qualifying. Even though this is not exactly his favorite track, as he's told me. But I am a bit surprised to see Duncan 45 ahead of Ranger, but this is just a banker lap, so we'll see what happens later on in the session.
Yeah, we've seen Ranger put in some incredible times. I believe last year, I want to say it was Japan, he put up a very, very impressive time. That I believe would have gotten him a very good position in D1. But I might be talking out of my ass right now.
No, I think you're right. I think you're onto something there.
Tuesday in the house,
So,
coming across the line, right into the last corner. Gets on the power well, opens the DRS. Waiting to figure out what his lap time will be. It's a 131.7, which is good enough for 8th, which puts Haas P7 and 8.
oh, the solid laps from the Haas drivers. So
Definitely.
the people who have had a bad banker lap are Pilon, Syra. Syra is, I expect a lot more from Syra.
Yeah, definitely.
26, yeah.
And Rigraff didn't even get a banker lap in. I'm riding on board with him as he tries to get one in now. He's wasted a set of tires.
Oh, yeah,
Trying.
the mistake at the start of the session.
Yeah, never something that you want to happen is a mistake on your banker lap. It can be not so great both mentally and as well as technically.
Yeah. Never a great feeling to start the session with a mistake, but
No,
we'll see
not
what
at
he
all.
can do now, rounding the final corner. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a competitive time. It's already 131.
Yeah, 131.8,
130,
so P10. See if we'll see if he has any more room to improve. I believe Rigraff's always been a bit of a better racer than qualifier, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I was about to say the same, but this is a track where overtaking is not exactly the easiest, so qualifying position is quite important here,
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens. As we have the other cars coming out now for their second runs.
yeah, I believe Logan has actually retired. I wonder if he's crashed or about to come. No, he has. I'm
Yes.
not sure. Riding on board with Leocritus when it happened, and Leocritus has a spin. Leocritus just startled by the traffic ahead of him and unfortunately spins out. I wonder if that would be a ticket. I believe the drivers ahead were Nathan Doan and Duncan 45, so I wonder if we'll have tickets against those two.
I'm sure the stewards won't be happy about that, but yeah, Logan actually did crash out in turn 1.
Interesting.
I saw his DNF cars in the middle of the track. Seb, I believe, is starting his lap now. Contender for pole position.
Yeah, Seb in that P3 spot. Currently, just under 2/10 behind Nathan Doan in provisional pole, but you still have 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session. which is plenty of time. But Seb bottoms out on the curb a little bit. That's going to cost him some time, especially since the exit of that turn leads on to a very long straight, the longest on the track. So he's going to be losing time all the way down this straight.
Yeah, he was at almost a tenth up in the first sector.
Well, let's see what happens as he crosses the second sector line. Yeah, he's actually a
he had
tenth
lost
down.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
had a bit of a sloppy exit out of the chicane as well. But the third sector is where you can make up a lot of time if you need to. Very technical sector. And with the grip increasing over time,
Yeah.
Seb will likely still be able to gain some improvement, as he was a bit wide on that turn, but it would be too detrimental.
Yeah, I think he went wide in turn 10 and 11. But it looks like it wasn't enough for him to abandon the lap and go into the pit straight away.
No, and he moves up to P2, improves by a tenth.
Yeah. Good lap from Seb.
Yep.
Nathan Doan is on his lap. He's not currently improving. He's down half a tenth on his personal best. But that's still good enough for provision pole.
Yeah, maybe the
Let's see
track
what he
isn't.
can do.
Yeah, maybe the track isn't as evolving as much as we thought it would.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe these drivers just haven't exactly performed their best so far. Maybe they're saving it all for the final lap.
Yep.
It is quite easy to lose the car if you push too hard around this track.
Oh yeah, definitely. Find a lot of apexes kind of undulate at the a lot of turns undulate at the apex, which
Yeah.
can lead you to lose the rear. As Nathan Doan it ends up
Yeah.
improving by a
Yeah.
tenth and a half to not solidify to strengthen
Yeah,
his
solidify. Yeah.
provisional pole. I believe we have Duncan. No, Duncan's actually abandoned his lap as he's invalidated, so he's going to go into the pits.
Simon Colson improving by around 8 tenths, so that's good to see. Up to P6. It's still not good enough to challenge the top 2 or top 3.
What to say? Next across the line, we have the Alpine of Adao.
He's just starting out his lap now, I believe.
Oh no, you're right. It says weird. It says he's on his lap for me.
Or he just started his lap, but his teammate Diego, no, he's going to the pits now.
Oh, as Adao spins on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, it's been a difficult session for him, not able to get a time in so far, and won't be able to get a time in on this lap. Maybe he can carry on, but there's not much time left in the session.
Yep. I don't believe that we have anyone on a lap at the moment, as what a yoke. Looks like he's on his in lap. Yes, he is. Cyber on track. The out lap.
They're on their out lap. And the teammate Leo Kritos on their out lap as well.
Both the Alfa Romeos.
As Rigraph leaves the pit lane for his final run in qualifying.
I would say I think it's a bit early from these three drivers, because they'll probably be encountering some traffic on their hot laps from drivers trying to get out of the pits.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think leaving around 2 minutes and 30 seconds is the ideal time.
Yeah. The thing is, everyone agrees on that, so that can cause some traffic as well. So there's never really a great time to get out unless you get lucky.
Yeah. Unless all the drivers are really good in the mirrors and let
Yep.
you by, it
Yep.
might cause some problems.
Which is sometimes difficult with you get information and sometimes you just forget to look in your mirrors.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Yep.
I've been guilty of it myself.
Yeah.
Maybe Rigraph won't have such a problem since a lot of drivers have been leaving the pits while he's on the outlap. So
Mhm.
still a few in the garage.
Cyber does the same thing that Seb did, I believe, bottoming out on the curb,
Yeah,
approaching
he
the main
still
straight.
went purple in the first sector. I'm not sure how true that is, but we'll see what his
Interesting.
time is.
And as Adal retires from the session in the pit lane. So Cyret, crossing Sector 2 timing line, is up by 4 seconds.
The purple. So this could be a great lap. We can't be sure, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a top 5 lap at least.
You see Cyber, the last 2 turns, taking a nice wide entry
Hmm.
line. It was a little bit wide at the elite apex, but nails the apex of the last hairpin. Gets on the power really nicely, no wheel spin at all.
Oh,
Cyber crosses a line, moves up to P9, so it's P9 and 10 for Alfa Romeo as of right now. And Cyber going, I'm not entirely sure where, to be honest.
I'm not sure if you saw that, but Saira was hitting the brake before like hitting the line.
I don't know. I don't. I didn't see that. No. I'm riding on board with
Yeah,
Rigref currently. He's also approaching the last 2 turns. See what kind of time he can put in.
that's a decent exit.
Rigref goes up to P4 with the 130.95. Great lap from Rigref. A little bit worrying at the start of the session, but we'll see what everyone else can put in. First across the line is going to be Diego. He's in Validez, so he's going to be coming into the pits. We have one of the Alpha Tauris, Cushy, next up across the line.
So what a yoke, and Duncan 45's collide, but I don't think Duncan had control of his
Cushy
car.
stays P15. Tuesday next across. Simon Colston's retired from this session. Tuesday goes up to P11.
Nathan Doan, wow.
Excellent time from Nathan Doan. Both
As we see Seb about to rounding out his final corner, about to cross the line, hitting the DRS, but it's not going to be.
Marino with
It's
an
still not going
excellent
to be
lap.
easy. Yeah.
Going up to P2. Uh, Seb's.
Seb has pole position. Oh,
No,
Nathan Doan
sorry.
has pole position. Yeah,
Yeah, his pole position from Nathan Doan.
by quite a big margin.
Yeah, by 3/10. Great lap from
Marino
him.
with a surprise lap from at the end there.
Yeah,
That
Marino's
was
definitely only
quite
been a driver
unexpected.
with a lot of pace, but yeah, we haven't seen it like this. I mean, P2, excellent job from Marino. So we have Nathan Dillon from Marino on the front row, then Steb and Duncan 45 behind, then Rigraff and Ranger to complete the top 6, Dan, Pilon, Simon Colston, Leo Curtis in the top 10, and we have Tuesday, Cyber in 12, What a Yoke in 13. I believe I saw Fitz Toast and Cushy, the Alpha Tauri pair, in 14th and 15th. I cannot remember the rest. Let's do some thinking. Yeah, then we have Diego in 16th, Adal in 17th, and Logan unfortunately unable to set a lap in 18th position.
Yeah, that was an interesting qualifying session. But Nathan Doan dominant from the start. Never lost his provisional pole. Always on top.
Yeah, kept it really calm and just was able to deliver under the pressure. Ferrari had an unfortunate Division 4 race with with a missing NVA, no reserve driver, and Aaron coming home an unfortunate P12. So Nathan starting on pole is definitely going to help the team out.
Definitely. Ranger not living up to my expectations from him, but maybe he can improve in the race.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at the pit lane and it looks a bit cloudy, so I wonder if later on we'll get some rain. It is France. It's not unlikely.
Yeah, it does rain quite a bit, and for some reason, I'm driving a car.
They're driving a car.
Yeah, I'm in a McLaren.
All right.
Okay, I guess I'll have to retire the car.
I'd retire in the pits if I were you.
This is the first in the GRL commentating while driving. Just loading in my setup, selecting my strategy.
There we go. Make sure the fuel load is right.
Yep. It's also great that they gave me the McLaren.
Yeah. So here we go. 4, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go. I believe. There we go. As Nathan Doan gets a good start from Marino. From Seb. Marino actually hasn't gotten the best of starts as he gets overtaken by Seb. Seb moves up into second place, going 3 wide into turn 1. And Ranger gets spun around, and I believe that's Marino falling down the order as well. That I also think that's the Ferrari rig wrap around as well. So 3 people in the top 5, I believe, spinning around, and Marino now in
Yeah.
11th. Ranger down to 14th, rig wrap down to 18th, and Duncan 45 and 17th. So not a great start from them. Nathan Doan leads 2.4 seconds out from Dan in the Mercedes. Then we have a DRS train stretching from second place all the way down to 12th at the moment. Not a good start for the Red Bull boys.
There's been carnage at the back for some reason. I don't know what happened, but
As
lots of
Rigraf.
people losing positions. Duncan 45 is back here. Rigraf spins again.
Yeah, Rigraf spins again, and I believe so does both Logan and Marino. I wonder if they
Yeah.
had contact with each other.
Yeah,
And I
think
believe
they
that's
did.
Seb falling down the order as well. Oh no, sorry, Seb was already falling down.
No, isn't 7 P2?
Oh, I thought that was Dan.
I'm not sure. I can't see from back there. I'm about to head into the pits and retire the car. I don't want to call the safety car.
We have Seb trying to go around the outside of Cushy. Cushy leaves just enough room, but defends nicely. Riding on board with Seb, he's going to want to be getting back to the front of the field where he thinks he belongs. Not where he thinks. I don't mean to say it like that. Where he does belong. That sounds a bit better. As Pilon into the pits, presumably for damage of some sort. So that is a disaster from Pilon. As a dive from Seb up the inside, trying to go around the outside of Cushy in turn 2. These two drivers wheel to wheel, banging wheels towards turn 3, and Cushy gives up the position to Seb. And Seb now in 8th position. So if we take a look at our big winners and losers, Nathan Doan and What a Yoke, the only 2 drivers who haven't gained or lost anything, as well as you, Sid, who's started in last and DNF'd in last. We have Dan moving up 4 positions, Syra up 9. Great start from Syra, really taking advantage of the carnage, as well as Tuesday, who's up 7 position. Simon Carlson up 3, Leocritus up 4. Seb, unfortunately down 4, but carving his way through the field up to 7th now. Cushy up 7, Ranger down 4, making his way back up the field as well. Diego up 6, Fitz up 3. What a Yoke has actually decided to make up his position since then. Duncan down 4, Marino down an unfortunate 12. Logan up 3, Adao up 1, and Rigraf and Pylon down 13 and 11 spots.
Yeah, this has been a chaotic start to the race for sure. The Marino, Rigraf, Pilon, everyone is going to have to make a solid comeback drive if they want to get a good result out of this.
Definitely. Looking at higher strategy, as we actually see Duncan and Marino fighting. Marino's overtaken Duncan, so now Duncan in Williams sandwich between Marino and Logan.
And Logan behind him is on medium tires, so he might be putting on a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, very few drivers on the medium tires. Only three as of
Three.
now.
Yeah. And I think Pylon has boxed for his fresh set of mediums, so
Yeah,
I think he got damage.
yeah. Tuesday is
Tuesday
definitely gonna want to
is
make
closing
up.
up.
He's gonna want to make up some positions early on, and he's doing that right now, fighting with Syra, going down the inside and using his superior grip on those medium tires to take the position. Syra very close behind, going towards the fast right-hander.
Tyre dumping his battery, trying to make a move.
Yeah, this is the
Goes down the
place.
inside.
This is the place where you can see some really good action. Let's see if Tuesday's gonna try to fight back. No, he doesn't. Staying behind Syra. Maybe trying to go up the inside. No, thinks better of it. Backs up.
A wise decision from him. It wouldn't have ended cleanly for sure.
Meanwhile, Dan has made up about a second and a half and is almost in Nathan's Dome DRS.
Yeah. I think he might get DRS. Yeah, he does get DRS here.
It's
So
gonna
if
be
he can
very
keep
interesting.
If he can keep up and pressure Nathan Doan into a mistake, that's really good news for his teammate, who
Yeah, so
has lost quite a few positions.
Dan clearly has some race pace in him. Yeah, making up a second and a half in 2 laps, 3 laps, not an easy feat.
Although he has used up quite a bit of his battery compared to Nathan Doan. But that shouldn't matter too much. At least as long as he's in the DRS, he can be pulled along with Nathan and create a gap to the cars behind him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dan's probably going to be thinking of the long game in this scenario. You know, it's lap 4. Don't have to make any moves for the lead now. Just get behind, pull away, recharge that battery, and then go for the attack when it's beneficial. It's Dan.
Big moment.
Big moment. Yeah, that's cost him all the time that he's actually made up. As Syra falling down the order, got spun around. I don't know if there was contact.
Sector 1, we have Alpine of Adeo also around, but keeps it moving. Fortunately, no safety car. But yeah, this track is quite easy to make mistakes at, and we have seen that already.
Especially in Ranger fighting it out. Those two drivers neck and neck.
Alpha Tauri and Red Bull no longer an affiliation. We can see that on track.
Yeah, as Ranger gets the position from Cushy, but Cushy is now going to have the DRS on Ranger. Ranger won't have any on himself.
Dan under pressure from Tuesday now with his fresh mediums.
Yeah, Tuesday is definitely going to want to make up as many spots as he can, as early as he can. Because you do not want to be stuck behind another driver in these corners when you have the tire advantage that he has. He wants to make the most of it by having clear air. But he's using quite an awful lot of his battery. Tuesday with 6% compared to Dan's 35%.
For a moment, I thought that he might think about making a move down the inside, but thinks better of it and stays behind for now. Perhaps Dan has the better straight line speed. I do feel that.
Yeah, also that battery, once you get below, I believe, 10%, it might be 15.
Yeah, it's 10%.
The engine power just isn't what it normally is, even if you're not using the battery.
That is true. Getting a great exit Tuesday.
Yeah.
But once again, Dan is pulling away on the straight.
The straight line speed, yeah, Dan is actually really impressive.
Finally, at the end of the straight, Tuesday closes up the gap a bit, but it's too late. I think he needs to save up his battery and then make a move in a couple of laps.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. Yeah, the person who's really benefiting from this the most is it's going to be Nathan Doan. If these two start fighting, then that's just going to make them lose more and more time to the leader.
Yeah, Nathan is praying and hoping that guys behind him keep fighting so he can just cruise home to a easy victory. And we have a Haas around,
Be
but
what a
keeps it
year.
moving.
Yeah, if Dan makes this hard for Tuesday, he's got to realize that he's also only making it hard for himself. It's Dan,
Yeah,
not
that
Dan.
is true.
Tuesday gets an excellent exit. See if he'll use his tires to go for a move here. Just stays behind Dan.
Lots of pressure when you have a car who's behind you less than 2 tenths away. You're under a lot of pressure, but
Yeah,
seems like Dan is handling it pretty well. No mistakes so
definitely.
far.
And he isn't losing any time to Nathan. I know even when you're thinking about having to defend, sometimes you can subconsciously slow down, but it doesn't look like Dan is doing so.
Yeah, the gap has been pretty solid for the past couple of laps, but that early mistake by Dan has cost him a lot.
Yep. And Tuesday is going to really want to take advantage of this while he can. He does not want those tires to equalize in grip.
Yeah, for sure. This whole time, Simon Person has slowly been creeping up to the back of Tuesday, so
Yep,
he's
and
gonna be under
behind.
pressure soon because his tires are not gonna last forever. But the hearts definitely will last longer than his mediums.
For sure. We also had Duncan and Logan fighting quite a bit. And there goes Dan on the, not Dan, Tuesday on the inside. Goes for a cutback on Dan, see if he can get a better exit. He did, but I don't think it'll be good enough for him to think about a move into this Sector 3. As Seb gets by Leocritus, no, they're still battling it out. Around the outside, Seb makes the move and is back up into 5th place. Great racecraft from Seb to make his way up, well, I believe 4 spots from his original
Yeah,
spin.
4 spots lost at the start, and in 7 laps he has got them back, I believe.
He's also inviting Simon Colston and Simon would just be able to chill behind them, wait for them to battle each other, and then pick up the scraps. And he can use this time to save up his battery and think of his next attack.
I think Simon is in a really good spot here. Potentially P2 position up for grabs.
Definitely, and with his teammate out and no reserve lined up, he's gonna want to get as many points from McLaren as he can.
Ooh, as Adeo has a moment.
And so does Tuesday, which is gonna allow Simon to capitalize. Simon on the DRS, not using any ERS, so he's actually gonna just let Tuesday continue in front of him. So Simon seemingly not too upset behind the House of Tuesday, who is closing in on Dan on the inside, but backs out before the turn.
Yeah, once again, I believe the straight line speed advantage that the Mercedes has demotivated the Haas from trying a move.
Yeah. It looks
Can
like
get along.
these drivers with more downforce are seemingly quicker than these lower downforce drivers, but they just can't get past.
Yeah,
So,
the high downforce seems to be quite important only if you're starting at the front.
right.
If you're at the back, you need some lower wings to overtake.
In the past couple laps, Nathan Doan has pulled out a bit more of a gap on Dan.
Yeah, while saving up his battery even more. So Nathan Dune is definitely doing something right. And Dan doesn't seem to have saved up any battery.
Yeah, but crucially for him, Tuesday and Simon aren't exactly running super high on battery either.
this is going to be an interesting battle to watch for P2 and P3.
Yeah. I wonder if that little wobble we saw last lap from Tuesday was a result of his tires starting to overheat and go off.
Yeah, potentially. The tires, believe they should last around lap 12 or 13 at the most. He's going to be feeling some degradation by now.
Yep. Just keeps getting close, but never close enough.
So yeah, Dan has done a great job of keeping the faster car behind him.
He's starting to crawl back that gap to Nathan Doan also.
Yeah, I believe it might be hammer time for Dan and for Seb. Seb is almost in the DRS of Simon Colson.
Yep.
Need to close in 3/10. 3/10 is a lot, but at this rate, he's going to be in DRS in the next lap or so. Saira behind him is also pushing quite hard, trying to get into the mix.
Yeah, both the Alfa Romeos doing really impressively in 6th and 7th. Saira reserve making up good points.
For sure. As Logan picks up another 3-second penalty to add to his woes.
Sorry, I don't know why I called Saira reserve. He's driving full time.
Yeah.
And there goes Tuesday up the inside, and Zan spun around. Disaster for the Mercedes, and this invites Simon Colston. But he has a bit of a moment as well. I wonder if that was also caused from contact. Dan dropping down, but not super far, only to P7. And that has also allowed Seb to get into this battle. So will Seb be able to make up what Dan has lost?
Seb making his comeback drive, and this has just made it a bit easier for him. This has also made things a lot easier for Nathan Doan as well, as 4-second lead.
Yeah, I mean, just a second ago, that lead was around 2.5 seconds. It's grown by another 1.5 seconds. So this race currently looking very comfortable for Nathan Doan. But as we just saw with Dan, things can change in a heartbeat.
For sure, and Tuesday under a lot of pressure now from 2 cars behind him on, I think they are faster tires at this point. It's safe to call them faster. The hard
Yeah,
tires.
I think you're right. I mean, both these drivers only about 0.2 away from each other.
Right on the gearbox of the Haas, Simon Colston. Probably thinking about a move here.
Yeah, it's a very tricky corner to follow through leading up to the straight, and Simon didn't get the best exit. Dan, Seb, has actually gotten quite a good exit, and is now going to go for a move, and might also go for a move on Tuesday as well. There's a chance Seb might get this done, and Saira's been invited into the mix and has spun around Simon Colston.
Oh my god, that was
Both of them losing positions, and now Dan back up to 5th, Ranger up to 6th. A lot has happened in this past lap. Simon now down to 9th.
Was riding on board with Simon, and he was out of nowhere. He just spins around.
Yeah, he got hit in the back from Saira, unfortunately.
That is quite unfortunate. He had made up a lot of positions for himself, and he's now on the back foot.
Yeah, someone, as Tuesday decided, yeah, these tires are gone, it's time to go into the pits. Someone who hasn't made as many spots up as I thought they would is Duncan, down in 12th still, after qualifying really high.
Yeah, Duncan's still stuck behind Logan. Oh, and he spins around. I think the broadcaster goes.
Oh
is
dear.
in action here.
It's a bit of a weird place to spin around, to be honest.
Yeah, coming out of the final corner.
Yeah.
Got too eager on the power, I guess.
Looking at the other Red Bull, Ranger closing up on the back of Dan. Ooh, has a bit of a wobble. Dirty air can really affect you in turn 5, I believe it is.
Even without the DA, that corner is difficult
Yeah.
enough.
Ranger
He might
closing up
think about a
rapidly
move.
to the back of Dan. He thought
Yeah,
Dan had
Red
good
Bull.
straight line.
Yeah, Red Bull might have a great straight line setup. Yeah, let's look at the straight line they have.
Wow, very impressive. Goes on the inside into turn, I believe that's 8, and takes the position from Dan. Ranger now up into 4th, but Dan fighting back
Ooh.
on the inside, almost making contact.
He did make contact on
Oh,
my
they
screen
did.
and he lost about almost a second. But fortunately, he's still in DRS.
Something we hadn't mentioned is Leocritus up into 3rd in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, that all that carnage that Syra caused, it has uh, helped out Leocritus, his teammate, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Marino gets past Logan as Logan comes into the pits for his his medium stint is over. So this might tell us about Tuesday. It's Tuesday box as well. Yeah, Tuesday has boxed and he's now on hard tires. Ranger is pushing quite hard as Dan is almost out of DRS from him.
Wow, yeah, you're right. Dan it's actually out of his DRS. Ranger really showing his pace at the moment.
Yeah, Ranger was bit of a bit slow start to this race, but now he's going all out.
Yeah, definitely looks like he's gotten comfortable.
While at the front, Seb has made up so many positions after an unfortunate start and now trying to chip away at the lead of Nathan Doan.
Yeah,
It's
he is
gonna
a
be
bit.
quite a difficult task.
As we, s-
4.8 seconds.
as we see the first of the hard runners to go into the pits, Cyron lap 12. Sorry, 13.
Syra might even have some wing damage from that contact with Nathan, but not replacing his wing. I can see that.
I don't know, what do you
We
think of
might,
that pit window? He might be
yeah, we might
a little
see.
bit early.
It is a bit early, but the undercut is powerful around here.
Yep.
And a two-lap undercut is going to be even more powerful, but he's going to have worse tires at the end, so it depends on how well you can manage tires and what kind of a setup you have.
Looks like Simon Colston has gotten by Pit Stickwell.
Yeah, not surprising there, but
Ranger
still
looking at the same move on the Leocritus as he did to Dan. And
and he
he gets
does
it
make
done.
it stick. As a Ranger, all the way up from, I believe he started down in around P10.
Yeah, Ranger was one of the drivers involved on that first lap contact.
Yeah,
And I can't remember exactly what position he dropped down to, but it was quite far down.
yeah, he started P5, went down to around lower than P10 for sure, and now he's back up to P3. That is some solid recovery driving.
Yeah, for sure.
Leo Cried is still in the DRS, still pushing, trying to get back at Ranger as Kushi
Pushy.
comes into the pits.
Yep. So we're starting to see the hard runners go in, put on the medium tires. Seb still chipping away at that gap to Nathan Doan.
Yeah, he has gained around 6 tenths.
Seb,
That's
40% battery, Nathan on 7. So it looks like Nathan is starting to use a bit more battery to try to extend his gap to Seb again.
we are seeing a lot of driver coming into the pits, so I believe a lot of the front runners will also box now. At the end of this lap, yeah, I think Nathan Doan is coming in this lap because he's pushing his battery quite hard.
Yep.
Saira picks up a 3-second penalty
L-
for
Looks
track
like something's
limits.
happened to Ranger. Going drop down to 7th.
Yeah, I believe he may have had a moment over the chicane.
Very interesting. So, a bit of his work that he's done to recover has been undone. However, there's still 12 laps to go in this race. So, and we'll see what he's able to do. We know Ranger's a very quick driver, as Nathan Dillon does in fact head into the pits.
And Seb decides to stay out, so he's gonna go for the overcut. Leo Kreitas into the pits. Dan is also
You
into
would
the
think, yeah, I
pits.
was about to say, you'd think Dan would come into the pits. Simon Colston fits.
Oh.
Ranger into the pits. Simon
Simon
Colston.
penalty, 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. That is gonna sting a bit
Yeah, I mean,
in an
I wonder
already
if
unfortunate race.
he thought speed limit was higher, as with this 37 mile an hour or a 50 kilometer an hour speed limit,
Yeah.
it's a bit unusual. Only features in some tracks.
Yeah, it did catch me off guard in a practice session that I did. So
Yeah,
you have to break a bit earlier than you would think. As Saira gets past Simon Corson after that incident between the two earlier on.
so the undercut looks
Undercut
like
is
it's
definitely
worked.
powerful. Yeah. Saira will soon be within the TRS if he manages to push harder. Oh, almost spins out. So yeah, only two drivers who haven't boxed yet are Marino and Seb. And Seb, I believe, is coming to the pits now. He has dumped his battery quite a lot.
I'm not sure about the decision from Seb. I mean, the overcut isn't really the best option at this track. We'll see
Yeah.
what his gap to Nathan looks like after his pit stop. But I have
Well, the
a
thing
funny
is,
feeling that it might be a bit larger.
yeah, but Nathan Doan is stuck behind. Not exactly stuck, but he was in dirty air of Marino,
Yep, that's
which may
true.
have hampered his progress a bit.
However, he will be getting
But
DRS on the straight.
yeah, so Seb now still in the pit lane. Nathan Doan goes past, flies past him, and Seb's still on the exit. So
Look at Tuesday. Tuesday might be getting past Seb.
yeah,
Seb
on the
still is
alternate
going to have to
strategy.
warm up those tires, so Tuesday will be able to really close down on him.
Yeah, it depends on how good of an exit he can get out of turn 5, and if Tuesday has a better one, then he's gonna be in trouble.
Looks like Tuesday's really closing in. However, Seb does have a battery advantage just coming out of the pits. Has 35% battery, so it's actually not that much of an advantage.
Seb dumping his battery. Tuesday starting to use his battery, but quite late on. I don't know why, but can't make it. And at this point, I think Seb has warmed up, so
Yeah,
he's clear for now.
yeah, I
But
think,
yeah,
I think you're right.
the undercut by Nathan Doan has worked out.
Yeah, it's about
And
8/10 of a second.
built up his gap even more. I believe Seb should have been the one to try the undercut.
Yeah, if anyone is trying to, I think it should have been Seb.
A bit of a strategic blunder by the team Mercedes, which doesn't happen often in real life.
Yeah, Seb now starting to pull away from Tuesday. His tires really starting to get into that working window. I think as
Yeah,
Tuesday, I
Tuesday.
just sit back, relax, and try to save some battery to hold off from the medium runners coming from behind.
Yeah, that would be the wiser move. But he's trying to stay within the DRS and pushing for it, and that's understandable. That
Yeah,
should
I'm
be a
not,
good strategy too.
not entirely sure it's gonna work though.
Yeah.
Because yeah, look at that, he's
too
already
far
out
back.
of DRS.
Yeah. So that hasn't paid off the battery usage, but he still has more than 3 seconds to the cars behind him. So he just needs to keep doing fast laps. Maintain that gap for as long as possible. The field has spread out a bit now. No one seems to be within DRS of each other in the top 7.
Yeah, something that
As
usually happens after pit stops. I think.
yeah, Ranger is in the DRS of Simon Colson, but he has a battery disadvantage. Not by much though. Both of these drivers are going to try to improve their positions after some unfortunate incidents. As Logan
Oh,
and
looks like
Duncan are
Logan.
going
Yeah.
side by side. Thinks better of it. Oh, as Seb has already closed down the gap by a second and a half.
Very interesting.
Nathan
So
Noone.
Seb pushing hard on 11% battery. Nathan 65. So it's taking it a little bit more calm. Nathan knows that he has quite a large gap.
Yeah.
So no sense in pushing too hard for now. It looks like Ranger is getting close to the back of Simon Colston and might go for a move on this next straight.
Yeah, he might. If he gets a good exit, then Simon might be in trouble around here. He does get a
Yeah,
decent
get
exit.
a decent exit. Nothing doesn't look too different than the exit that Simon got, but he's using the
Remember
DRS.
this Red Bull straight line speed? Yeah, it's gonna be an easy move.
Yeah,
But he
dives
goes in
down.
deep. Simon doesn't fight it hard. Simon doesn't fight it at all. Simon knows he has that 5-second penalty, and he doesn't want to lose time to the cars behind him. So
Yeah,
that's a wise move from him.
Simon is probably thinking that if he can just stay in the DRS of Ranger and let him be pulled along, he could possibly get that 5-second gap to Cushy. As right now it's 3.6, so it is doable. It was
Yeah,
probably going to be difficult, but it is doable.
it is doable.
As
And
Seb has taken out another half second.
yes, Seb doing really, really good. I would like to see him catch up to him at the end, just like in France 2021 in real life.
Yeah.
Tuesday, almost. Leocradis almost catching up to Tuesday now. That is going to be another battle that we have to keep an eye out on, and Dan is within the DRS of Leo as well.
Yeah, Tuesday's fallen back 6 seconds to Seb ahead. Oh, he's actually spun around. Tuesday has spun around.
That's
From
Quite
P3
an-
down to P8.
8, yeah. Quite a notorious corner for spinning around.
Yeah.
The curbs can be aggressive. Another yellow flag.
What a yoke, the other Haas is spun around.
Wow. Ooh, Pelon gets past. Simon picks up 3-second penalty now, so that is 8 seconds that he needs to create
Yeah, which
into the cars behind.
as of now would drop him down to P10, I believe.
So at the front, Seb is now 3 seconds behind Nathan Noone. Dan is 2 tenths behind Leo. Leo has his battery blinking under a lot of pressure right now from Dan. We might be seeing a double Mercedes podium here.
Yeah, I
But
think
Saira
you
is
might be
right
right.
behind him as well. But keep in mind, Saira might get ticketed for some incidents that happened before. So nothing is guaranteed yet, and Saira also has a time penalty.
Leocradis defends hard against Dan. Dan not using too much of the battery, thinks he can rely onto the DRS alone to go down the inside. Leocradis with some good defense.
Yes, Saira is now right on the back of Dan, using his battery. He has no left. Nothing
Yeah,
left
0%.
to use. This is allowing
Looks
Ranger
like
to catch
Dan.
up to them.
It's
Ooh,
Dan going down the inside.
this is
He's
great racing side by side throughout the corner
this
and pushes him
Dan's
just
pushed
a
Syra
little
off,
bit
and
wide out.
Syra's Leocardis has hit Syra. That is teammate contact. Alfa Romeo and Alfa Romeo violence. And that's never something you want to see. Buffalo Trace is not going to be happy.
Yeah, that was quite an ambitious move from Sarah, trying to
Yeah.
go down into the gap between the two cars. And if it had worked, it would have been one of the greatest moves that I've seen while
Yeah.
broadcasting, but it did not, unfortunately.
I honestly I think that was a bit unnecessary on Syra's part to go for that.
I guess you can call it unnecessary. Some might call it being a racing driver and just
Yeah,
going for the
that's
gap,
true.
but
No, that's true. Because I can't say I wouldn't have gone for that.
yeah, I can say that I wouldn't have gone for that. I'm not that brave. But fortune does favor the brave, and unfortunately, it didn't work out here. As the Ranger is now making the move on Leo
Ooh,
Curtis.
bit of bumping between the two.
Yeah. So Ranger, after having two unfortunate spins, is now hunting his podium, and he's doing a great job of it. This is what I expected from Ranger, and Simon Colson also gets past Leo Curtis. So yeah, this has been quite a up and down race for the Red Bull driver and also Simon Colson. Oh, as I say that, he has a moment. Still manages to stay ahead of Leo.
Simon's gonna be really really upset about his penalty after the race.
For sure.
Just the unavoidable position drop that he's probably gonna be facing.
Yeah, it's inevitable. I think he might drop at least 3 or 4 positions even. Unless there's some carnage behind, which is always a possibility. As we haven't talked about it much, but Seb has closed down the gap to 1.8 seconds now.
Right, wow, that's actually extremely impressive from Seb. 1.8 seconds behind Nathan Doan. Nathan Doan does have the battery advantage, but Seb
Nathan-
really making these medium tires work.
The Seb has insane race pace, but Nathan keeping his calm. He knows that he has a big advantage and a battery around it, so he's just. Oh,
As Tuesday's retired. Believe out of frustration.
frustration.
Yeah, riding on board with Fitz Stickwell. See if we'll be able to see Tuesdays. Tuesday's actually left the session.
Yeah. He felt there wasn't a point in racing on, so yes.
That's really interesting, because he honestly was still in an okay position to get some good points.
Yeah, he was, but emotions can get through to you, and you can't exactly think rationally at those moments. So it happens.
Yeah. And
But,
Seb still chipping away.
Almost within the DRS now. This is going to be quite interesting, but I don't think it's going to be enough because of the battery disadvantage.
Yeah, we're gonna have 3 laps between these two drivers. Seb
If it
also
was
does
3
have-
laps,
Seb also has a 1 lap tire advantage.
that is true, but if it was 3 laps of DRS action, I think we might have had a better battle. But I think he might get DRS next lap, and then.
Whoa, whoa! Oh,
Okay, decent.
yep.
That scared me a bit.
Alright, I thought it was just me. It looks like Leocardis is, Leocardis and Syra fighting with each other. That's strange. Huh.
Haven't been the greatest of races, the cleanest of races for Alfa Romeo.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could think if Syra's ahead, Syra will lose less less positions based on his time
Yeah.
penalty, and Leocratis will still finish ahead of Syra. So I guess
Yep.
this could work out.
Yeah, and I believe Saira is the more aggressive driver and capable of making the moves.
Yeah, I
I'm not
think
saying
you're
Leo
right.
is not capable of it, but Saira is just more aggressive.
Seb
But
getting very
1.1
close to cracking that 1 second barrier.
needs this first sector to be absolutely perfect to get into the DRS, but it doesn't seem like it. Oh, maybe it might. No, it is
Let's
right on
see,
the edge.
past the
That
line, and
does
no,
not get
1.2
DRS.
seconds. Seb using his DRS. Nathan, not really. He's saving it in order to defend against Seb if he needs to.
Yeah, and that is quite wise from Nathan. Some other driver might panic and start to use battery and be in a bad position at the end of the race, but Nathan is keeping his head and he's just managing it perfectly.
So we're getting very close to the end of this race. Only about 2 laps to go once Nathan Doan crosses the line. Looks like Seb has momentarily broke that 1 second barrier. Looks like he's done it again, and I believe he will have DRS this time around. So,
Yeah, he does,
Seb
finally.
with the DRS on Nathan Doan. Now, catching up is one thing, passing is quite another.
Definitely, with such a big battery advantage, it's not going to be easy at all. But we have some great action for us in store.
Yeah, really the deciding factor is who can get a good exit out of turn 5. And I believe, honestly, if unless Seb can get a bit closer, even if he gets the best of exits, I think Nathan might have to have a bad one himself.
Yeah, and Seb is not using his battery, but Nathan is. So.
Yeah,
But not by
Nathan.
much. He barely used any. But
So Seb
this
really
is
just
some great
saving
action,
it for this last lap.
and that is the wiser move. I believe he should do that. No point dumping at all on this lap. He just needs to put on a lot of pressure in this final sector and get as close as possible.
Seb taking a bit of a shallower line through there.
Yeah, staying in fourth gear, not short shifting up. Seb has some weird driving preferences.
Yeah, really trying to shorten the length of the track. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the last lap of the race. Seb, 4 tenths behind. Not using any battery on this straight. It is a bit tough. Nathan doesn't look like he really used any either.
But the interesting thing is that the battery levels on both these drivers have almost been equalized.
Yep.
They're almost at 30% both of them. So this is going to be a battle of the exits out of this turn 5 or turn 6.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And if Seb is able to catch up, will Nathan be able to defend well enough?
I think it's going to be easy to defend here.
Ooh, as Seb gets a poor exit.
Yeah.
7 tenths behind. Seb dumping his battery. Nathan, not so much. And
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to.
Yeah, Nathan realizes the poor exit that Seb got and he doesn't need to use it, save it for later on, like at this long straight up to turn 9.
Yep, something
Seb gets a better exit out of here and he's going to dump his battery now, and so is
Nathan dumping as well. But it looks like Nathan is just a bit too far ahead for Seb.
Oh, almost running
Getting
into the back.
very close
of
to each
Ferrari.
other. I wonder if, on the final straight, Seb will be close
He
enough.
might.
And it
He
might be a
just
drag
might.
race to the line.
We just might get to see that. This is just picturesque. I don't even know what to say. This is incredible racing.
Now, I had a drag race with Nathan across the line in a practice session. He ended up winning by about 4 thousandths. What are we going to see today? Nathan Doan versus Seb, dumping battery, and I don't think Seb will make it as Nathan Doan crosses the line to win the Division 3 French Grand Prix here for Zoom Racing League. Seb with a very close second place, just 3 tenths behind. Dan to make it a Mercedes 2-3. Excellent job by them. Ranger to come home fourth with an amazing recovery drive. Simon, provisionally fifth place, drops down to seventh, so that means an Alfa Romeo 5-6 for Leocritus and Cyrus. Simon dropping down to eighth as Cushy jumps him. The Marino ninth after an unfortunate lap 1 spin. Duncan 10th. So Fitzstickwell is going to be coming home in 11th position.
Yeah, as Logan gets a 10-second penalty, I'm not sure how much of the track he cut there.
Must have been quite a lot.
And he's still gonna be overtaken by Pylon.
Oh, it looks like he's run out of fuel.
Oh, yeah, it seems like
So
that.
Rigrap also with a very unfortunate day. Definitely one to forget for him. Moves up to 13th on penalties. Was just never really able to recover from that lap 1 incident. We have What a Yoke, 15th for Haas. And 2 Alpines of Diego and a Dow reserving to round out the grid. So Sid, who do you think your driver of the day is?
I'd have the day has to be Seb because that first lap incident and making such a recovery drive and almost winning. I can't sugarcoat it. He almost won. If he had a lap or two more, I think he could have made the move.
Honestly, I think
But
so. I think he only needed that one more lap, and I'm gonna have to agree.
yeah, but
Uh,
not discrediting Nathan by any means here. He drove a perfect race, no mistakes from him at all. But yeah, Seb just had an insane drive with lots of overtaking to do and still manages to finish like 2 tenths behind Nathan. So that has to be my driver of the day.
yeah, and he also picks up the fastest lap point, the 133.2. And if you look at everyone else's fastest lap, I mean, Seb was absolutely flying. Looks like
Yeah.
Dan was the next best with the 134 flat.
No, Ranger was the next best, I think, with 2 tenths off him, but still 2 tenths is quite a big margin.
Yeah, you're right. No, Ranger. Oh yeah. Yes, my bad. All right, so it's like we're ready to get some people in for the interviews. So
Yeah.
let's get both the Mercedes in here. We got Dan and Seb. Dan, Seb, how are you guys doing today? I mean, excellent day for you guys to end the night on a Mercedes 2-3.
Uh, I guess I'll answer that part first. I mean, it's unfortunate for Seb. I think he could have definitely gotten the win. He was faster, but it was a good race for Mercedes. Really good for us. We got some good points that we need for the constructor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's solid recovery drive from you, Seb. What happened at the lap one? Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, so some people just think it's a good idea to go 3 wide into turn 1, and when you're in between those two people, there's nothing you can do. So, getting hit to P12 and then having to fight my way back up and needing one more lap is pretty awesome, and I'm definitely really happy with the driving in this league and the way people conduct themselves.
Yeah,
definitely. I
that
mean,
is. I
emotions
understand
run
your
high.
frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always unfortunate to have that lap 1 contact. You know, sometimes people just think that they can pull off these crazy things, but fortunately, that's not always the case. And sometimes you just get the short end of the stick. Nevertheless, amazing recovery. It looked like you were on for the win for a bit. Unfortunately, you just didn't have enough laps in the race. For one more lap, and there's a decent chance that you would have overtaken Nathan. But nevertheless,
I mean,
amazing
I
recovery.
needed to overtake the lap before to get him. We made a mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah, the exit onto the DRS straight, I think you made a slight mistake there.
I
Your
mean,
exit wasn't as good.
it's impossible to know how much to give it there. The dirty air is so bad.
Yeah, you don't get too much feedback on that corner. But me and Sid both had you as our driver of the day, making that excellent recovery drive and almost winning. So really, congrats to you, man. Doesn't feel like a
I
win,
appreciate
but
it. Do I
Yeah.
get points for driver of the day?
well, you get points for fastest lap.
Oh. Oh, did I end up finishing with that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Nice. That was a good lap.
Also,
Congrats to Nathan though. He did all he needed to get that win.
yeah, he drove a spectacular race as well. But the underrated driver here, I think, was Dan. Because
Yeah.
Dan, we didn't talk about you much on the broadcast. I'm sorry about that, but you just drove a solid race and you just kept doing the lap times that you needed to do.
Yeah, Dan, it looked like you were on the win for a bit yourself there as well.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate. I was catching Nathan after the cool turn one thing. I was able to get out of it alive, unlike Seb. But I was catching him, and I pushed a little bit too much, drifted the car through a corner, and then I got caught up in a couple incidents, which I'll be ticketing because that's just unreasonable. But yeah, I mean, still, me and Seb both did really well. He did really well, especially considering his recovery. So, nice.
Yeah, congrats to both of you. A Mercedes double podium, I think first of the season. Hopefully, you guys savor this moment.
Yeah, we'll make a lot more of that. Well, trust me, you'll see a lot more of us on the podium.
Looking forward to that.
All right, thank you guys so much. Have a
Yeah.
good night, guys.
Thanks for broadcasting.
You
Yep,
too.
for sure.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now we have the race winner in here, Nathan Doohan for Ferrari.
Hey.
So Nathan, you had an amazing race today. I mean, just absolutely dominating that qualifying session and then leading pretty much every lap of the race. We'll start off with quali. I mean, how confident were you that you were going to get this pole position?
Well, Seb, in our practice sessions, he always had the lap time over me, but I realized that as the session went on, he just did not have that pace. So I just tried to go as fast as I could, try to keep it on track for the most part. I'd say that I had about 2/10 in that lap still, but
Wow.
I'm happy to get the pole position there.
Yeah, you definitely dominated. You did 3 laps in qualifying, I believe, and all 3 of yours were the fastest ones at the time as well. So that was just quite dominant. Like in real life, like Charles Leclerc, you pulled Charles Leclerc.
Thank you.
So the race, I mean, you had it really under control pretty much the whole time. The last couple laps, where you were just losing big chunks of time to Seb behind. Is there anything that happened? Maybe like tires overheating or just that you didn't feel comfortable with the setup. Yeah, tell us what that was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any issues in particular. I just he has a very high downforce setup, at least compared to what mine was, and he was way faster than me in sector 3. So that was mainly where I lost out. But I knew that I just had to keep him behind, and I knew where he would try to overtake me if he did, and I just defended that off in the final lap. So
Yeah, definitely. So played the smart game, saved battery, and then defended wisely. So congrats to you, and congrats on the win.
yeah, thank you. And so Peter, you know you're like Ferrari team principal, right? Can
Of
you
course.
say the line? Can you say the thing? Okay.
Congrats on the what? What? I don't know what you're talking about, man.
All right. Whatever. I'm B1.
Oh, yeah,
You guys can
P1.
see it.
Yes.
Do you guys have a secret code in Ferrari or something?
I don't know, man. I feel left out right now.
All right then. See you guys.
Yeah, see you, Nathan.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Great drive.
Oh, geez, maybe I'm a bad team principal. Don't even know what my drivers want me to say.
Yeah, not
Um,
exactly a good look for you. That has been D3 for tonight. Really good race.
Yeah,
At
definitely.
the end, that was some good action at the end there.
Yep, and coming up in about 40 minutes at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, we have Division 2. Make sure to come back Unfortunately, me and Sid won't be broadcasting, but I'm sure you'll still enjoy it. We're gonna have faster drivers, racing, and just come out, root for your favorite teams. I believe that's all. Sid, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you covered it all basically. Thank you guys for joining us.